Hello everyone, this is Matt from iQuit-Smoking.com, and today I want to talk about all the different types of cigarettes you can buy. There's a lot of them out there. I didn't go and buy a bunch to show you because that would be the stupidest thing I could ever do. Plus it'd be a waste of money, and I don't want all that crap laying around. But there's a lot. Let's just start from the bottom. First, there's just straight cigarettes. No filter, no nothing. They're really short. Come in a pack like that. And you take a drag and it's the harshest. It's like, like I only see, I really don't see people smoking these anymore. Maybe really old men smoke these. Back in the day, though, back when I was 17 years old, cigarettes weren't behind the counter. I mean, you could literally, as a child, you could literally go and just steal them, and buy them. And that's what I did my first time. I was curious. My parents smoked. And I was at a store one day and I just whoop, and they were straights. They weren't the ones with the filters. And this is when I was a junior in high school. So later on that night, I waited till my parents went to bed, and then I snuck outside and went behind the shed, and I lit up a straight cigarette, and I just immediately just because it was like the first time my lungs had ever had smoke inside them. The cough went away, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna, why? I can understand the coughing, but why does everyone smoke? So I took another drag, and then it was like the best thing ever at the time. It would just, I just got completely dizzy and just and stumbled in the backyard and thought it was the best thing ever. That's how it gets you, though. So those are straights. Then you go down a level, and you've got your filters, which are straight cigarettes but with a little filter on it, which is good because the filter takes out some of the tar, just some of the harsh effects on your throat. Because when you smoke a straight cigarette, it just kills right there. So yeah, so there's straights and then filters, and then you go to lights, which is what I smoked for the vast majority of my smoking life. A pack a day, too. So these aren't as harsh as filters. They're definitely much, much easier on your throat than a straight. And I'm pretty sure they're the most popular kind of cigarette out there. And then after that, at the very lowest level are ultralights, and I just found these to be a complete waste of time because you'd just be like just so hard to get a drag that you were used to using back when you smoked lights and filters or whatnot. So you just smoke more ultralights than you would the others. So you'd be smoking more, spending more, trying to get the same amount of nicotine, so it's just a waste of time. And how they trick you is that there's little holes on the filter. Like you have your cigarette and there's the filter, and if you look closely, there's little holes. When you take a drag of a cigarette, let's see if I have a pen right here. Like, let's pretend that this is a cigarette. People don't usually, they usually let go, that's how they take. So the tobacco companies invented a way of where your fingers typically are, that's where they put that hole. So if you don't remove your fingers, you're getting a normal drag. that would be the same as like a light cigarette. But if you remove your fingers when you take a drag, you're letting those holes have smoke escape through them, and therefore you're taking an ultralight drag. See? So if you do this, it's a normal drag, but if you do this, it's an ultralight. You know, but if you're really smart, you'll just cut the whole filter off because you're too upset with it, and then it turns into a straight, you know. And then there's the whole male-female types of cigarettes, you know, like the female ones will be long, pretty much like this, well, a little bit shorter. You know, really long and skinny. Sometimes they're pink, baby blue. You know, the box will be very glittery, very feminine-esque. Some male cigarettes, there's wides. You know, they're really short. They're like the size of a straight, but they're like not twice as thick, but 1.5 times as thick, and they're just like little fat little cigar looking almost. And those are typically, I smoked those for a little while. Those are obviously targeted towards males. You know, menthols, I've had those quite a few times. You know, those are both male and female. Some people like, it's ridiculous to think that, well, my breath won't be as bad if I smoke a menthol. You know, like I feel just like icy hot, like, oh, it feels so good. But I've heard some things about menthols crystallizing your lungs, so that doesn't sound like a good side effect to me. I mean, it may be a minty, mentholy feeling, but you're probably doing twice as much harm than smoking a light. So I would say very, very clear away from those. Then there's your oddball, you know, you got your Cloves cigarettes, which are, instead of tobacco leaves, they're clove leaves. And when you take a drag, you can taste cloves on your lips afterwards. Super, super harsh. Lots of nicotine. Very, very harsh on your throat. I find it almost impossible to smoke a pack of those a day. I mean, they're just harsh on your body, you know. Then you have your natural cigarettes, your American Spirits, which is the going trend these days. I mean, supposedly they don't have any additives in them, so they don't have all the 599 cigarette additives and no toxic chemicals, and it's just straight 100% tobacco, and that's it. But there's still nicotine. You know, you can't tell me, oh, I'm a healthier smoker because I smoke American Spirits. No, you're not. You're still smoking a pack a day. You're still inhaling tobacco. You're still feeding your body nicotine, and you're still a slave. You're still a slave. It doesn't matter. I mean, sure, you're not gonna... Yeah, you're not smoking, you know, rat poison or yeast or any of those just ridiculous chemicals that are in regular name brand cigarettes. But you're not a healthier smoker. You know, you're not living a healthier lifestyle. You're still a slave. You're still an addict. What's better? There's no better. There's no, like, better or worse. It's the same thing. So I just don't get it. You know, there's people that, like, they're vegetarian or they're vegan, and they buy organic food, and then they smoke American cigarettes thinking that they're just this healthier person. It's just ridiculous. You know, why buy all this organic stuff, and, like, I'm vegetarian and I'm green, and yet I'm gonna smoke a cigarette? It doesn't matter what kind it is. It's still making you an addict. Still giving you lung disease. Doesn't matter if you're ingesting all those chemicals. You're still not smoking. There is no such thing as a healthy cigarette. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. So yeah, you got your straights, you got your filters, you got your lights, you got your ultralights, you got your dainty feminine cigarettes, you got your fat, wide, short, stubby cigar-looking cigarettes for guys. You got your Cloves, and you got your Menthols. And I think that pretty much covers it in terms of just the types of cigarettes that are out there on the market today. The lightest ones would be your ultralights, and the harshest ones would be your straights without the filters. So I hope you enjoyed this video. There will be many more to come, and take care and have a nice day.